The best flight ever. At Nairobi Airport, they had only 40 minutes to swap planes. Their luggage would be transferred automatically. When Eddie reached the front of the queue at check-in, the ground personnel asked him to step aside and wait for their supervisor. He looked at Brett with concern, as Brett steps out of line to see what's going on.
Mr. Chen?
A young woman in a colorful dress asks.
That's me,
Eddie answers.
Sir, due to the trauma you experienced coming in from Dubai, the airline has decided to upgrade you to a first-class cabin.
Both looked at each other in surprise.
But
Eddie started.
We are traveling together.
The lady smiled and said,
That's not a problem, sir. The cabin is equipped for 2. I will inform the ground crew to change your partner seating as well.
Oh, no, it's not like that,
Brett said quickly.
We're just friends,
Eddie added. They received brand new tickets and had a separate boarding ramp, complete with a red carpet. The cabin was amazing to say the least. There were 2 plush leather seats with silk cushions, separated with a retractable divider. Eddie sat down and started pressing buttons on the controls in his seat. A minibar opened, stocked with a variety of drinks. He closed it again. Some buttons controlled the lighting. He dimmed them just enough to see things around him. The seat buttons were amazing. One lifted up the footrest so his legs were straight. Another started a built-in massager. The last button transformed the seat into a full flat bed. He raised the seat back to its initial position just as a hostess walks in. She handed each of them a menu.
I will return after a while to take your order,
she said softly. Wow, Brett sighed as they started to look at the menu. As they never had proper dinner, they skipped the breakfast menu and went straight to the a la carte options.
Dude, we need to have champagne. I've never had Dom Perignon,
Eddie said, all excited, not realizing he pronounced it incorrectly.
And I'm definitely trying the caviar. And the tenderloin. And the orange tart. And chocolates,
he continued. Brett laughed.
Where will you store all of that? I'm too tired to eat that much. I think I'll just have some salad and the lamb pie. But I will join you in having champagne. Landing this cabin is definitely something to celebrate.
When the hostess returned, she took their orders.
First time in first class?
She asked.
Is it that obvious?
Eddie asked with a slightly shy smile.
Not at all, sir. Just wanted to explain everything in case you were unfamiliar. In front of your seat is a table. All food will be served there. To the right is a door. That's your private shower and bathroom. You will find everything you need inside.
The 2 looked at each other in amazement. Nobody will believe them even if they try to describe all this. As soon as the hostess left, Eddie jumped up to inspect the bathroom. There was a toilet, bidet, sink, and shower. Under the sink was a tray he pulled out. It had 2 robes, 2 sets of slippers, 2 sets of toiletries, which had shampoo, toothpaste, toothbrush, razor, soap, comb, cream, and other stuff he knew nothing about. He returned to his seat and explained it all to Brett with excitement. Just then the hostess returned with their champagne.
We will serve the food just after takeoff. If you could, please fasten your seatbelts until then.
They each put the champagne down carefully, fastened their seatbelts, and picked the glasses up again.
To adventure and new friends,
Eddie said as he raised his glass for a toast. Brett clinked his glass against Eddie's.
Cheers.
Brett wasn't sure fizzy alcohol was a good idea combined with how tired he was, but this was a special occasion. The sun started to come up through the windows on Eddie's side of the cabin as they started the takeoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board Flight 316 to Cape Town. Once the plane is airborne, I urge you to look out the window to the east, which is on your left. where you will be able to see Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest mountain in Africa. Enjoy your flight.
And they were not disappointed. Both had a window to look out of. It peeked through the clouds and seemed to have snow-covered peaks. They went to sit at the table in anticipation of the food arriving. Once everything was laid out, Eddie realized Brett was right. There's no way he could eat all this. He took the long, thin spoon and scooped up some caviar to taste. It was strange, almost like tiny tapioca balls, but salty and extremely fishy. He found something he hates more than durian and mushrooms.
It's interesting. You should try some,
he said to Brett, trying his best not to show his disgust. Brett was apprehensive, but scooped a small amount up with his fork. He immediately pulled a face and spat it out into a serviette. Eddie started laughing and said,
"It's the worst thing I ever tried." "Dude, then why did you let me try?"
Eddie shrugged.
"Why should I suffer alone?"
They didn't spend a lot of time eating. They were both too tired for that. Eddie stored the chocolates carefully in his bag for later. Then they pressed the service bell. The hostess appeared almost instantly.
"Would you like me to turn down the beds for you?"
she asked. Both nodded. Swiftly, she turned both chairs into beds and covered it in sheets stowed in a small cabinet in the console between them. She added big fluffy pillows to each, as well as a comfy duvet. She removed all the crockery onto a trolley.
"I will wake you 1 hour before we land,"
she said, as she closed the door leading to the corridor. Brett and Eddie took off their shoes and hardly settled into the beds when they were fast asleep.